Tonight, a war of words between Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco and Palm Springs Mayor Christy Holstage has elicited dozens of comments on social media. The mayor is critical of the sheriff's handling of the pandemic and how he recently described his own experience with coronavirus, in her opinion, downplaying the virus. I spoke with both Mayor Holstage and Sheriff Bianco about this earlier today, and we begin with my interview with Mayor Holstage. Christy, it's great to see you again. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Peter.
I'd like to start by asking you about this exchange, somewhat contentious, between you and Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco. You had posted something criticizing how he's dealt with the pandemic, and he responded to you. What can you tell us about that?
You know, it's really unfortunate that our sheriff has now come down with COVID, as well as his family. I hope that they recover quickly. I know that a number of deputies in the sheriff's department have actually died from COVID. So this is a serious pandemic. I was disappointed. I have been critical about his handling of the pandemic throughout this time. He's criticized mask requirements. He said on news and on national news saying he won't enforce any public health orders or work to keep our community safe. He said he will not take the vaccine, and he said that this virus is no big deal, but it's killed 3,000 of our loved ones in Riverside County. 268,000 people have contracted this virus in our county alone. So I think to say that the virus is no big deal really minimizes the suffering that our community has faced during this nearly a year now.
You know, it's interesting. He actually commented on your post. He wrote, "I was going to ask if you purposely misrepresented my comment, but after reading your entire post, I see you're full of misinformation, so never mind. That's not going to help you in your run for assembly." What do you think he meant by that?
You know, I was a little disturbed to see his comment, to make it about me, to not correct the record. I said, I'm happy to correct the record. I'm just sharing facts about our community and things I've heard you say. So I've heard the sheriff say in public meetings that this is like the flu, that the jails don't need to change any of their procedures because they deal with the chicken pox. I mean, he said all kinds of things that are just laughable from a public health perspective. He was on Twitter fighting with a doctor saying that, his immune system is firing on all cylinders and so he's safe. That's not how this virus works. And I think it's really dangerous to spread that information when we are responsible as elected officials for the health and well-being of our community. And every death is terrible. And we should be doing everything we can to protect our community. So I was a little surprised to see him comment that way. It's not about me. It's not about him. It's about public policy and doing what we can to protect our community and save lives.
And since he brought it up, I have to ask, do you have future plans to run for assembly?
I was just reelected to Palm Springs City Council. I'm the first female mayor. I've been mayor for about a month here in a global pandemic. So I am focused on our community and our residents. And I am speaking out because our residents want me to speak out. I work for them. They're disappointed in the sheriff's behavior. It doesn't align with Palm Springs values. We've had to work extra hard as a city and our police department to keep our community safe because there's mixed messages from the sheriff. And so I think that's a problem, and that's the reason why I'm speaking out.
Earlier, I spoke with Palm Springs Mayor Christy Holstage about her social media post criticizing Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco. Now, here's my interview with Sheriff Bianco. Sheriff Bianco, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me on.
First off, what compelled you to respond to Mayor Holstage's post on her Facebook page?
Politics is driving this country crazy. And her post was not only misleading, it was reckless. Why she decided she has to attack me, I have no idea. It's fine that she forwards the interview or the news article that was talking about me having the COVID virus, but for her to then just not only completely misrepresent what was said, but then compound that with other things that are her own opinion that are not fact. And then, she was getting a lot of play with her followers and all based on something that she shouldn't have done in the first place.
What specifically did she say that you feel was misrepresenting you?
Her very first statement saying that I said it's really no big deal about the coronavirus and everything else. That is absolutely not what that was said in the context it was said. And just because she wants to quote me, I'll go back and find quotes from her from something else from months past, and I'll go ahead and apply that to something relevant today and say that she said it when she really didn't. We were talking, and it's even in the article. She just cut it out. We were talking, or the question asked was, is this affecting your job? And I said, absolutely not. It's not affecting my job. I'm doing everything by telephone and by computer, and it really isn't that big a deal. I had to cut a couple of meetings, but that's it. And she took that to, she let everyone believe that I was trying to say that this virus is no big deal. It's unbelievably reckless. It's not true. It's a complete misrepresentation of the article and of what I said. And she either knows it and did it on purpose, or she was reckless in not reading the article and just decided she was going to forward that anyway.
I interviewed Mayor Holstage, who says that you have consistently downplayed the pandemic. For example, you've criticized wearing masks, posted on Twitter you would not take the vaccine, and refused to enforce public health requirements. So is she wrong?
100% completely wrong. I have never downplayed this virus. I have constantly told people to wear masks, social distance, and stay at home if you could. It's a complete misrepresentation of me saying that. I have never had a conversation with her, so she's never heard me say anything. She's going off of what she read from some article or what someone posted in social media. We all know how true that stuff is. And it's just absolutely not true. I am very vocal along with my partners in the county, the public health, of saying that we need to wear masks, social distance, and by all means, if you're in these categories that make you susceptible to death or serious complications from this virus, you need to take precautions to stay home and protect yourself.
Do you plan on taking the vaccine?
No, I do not. I don't even know why that's even a big deal. This entire issue with me is because I'm not utilizing law enforcement resources to go arrest people for not wearing masks and for coming outside their homes. No one in the entire country is doing that. But yet, go ahead and pick on me because I'm easy, because I'm local, and because you can do anything you want on social media. There's no repercussions anymore. You just do and say anything that you want. And no one is doing that. That is not a good use of law enforcement resources.
In your opinion, sir, are the doctors, healthcare workers, and health officials over-exaggerating how bad the situation is?
I don't think anyone's over-exaggerating or under-exaggerating anything. I think they all have an opinion. And back to your question before about me taking the vaccine, I don't see why that's irrelevant to anything. I don't want the vaccine. I've never taken a flu vaccine. I don't want it. I value my health. I value my body. I take care of it. I use vitamins and food as my immunization, and it works. That's a medical suggested practice for me. I don't think that the media, that doctors, that our government, that our governor, I don't think they're giving everyone the whole story either about how they could protect themselves from this virus leading up to the point where they get the vaccine. If they want to take the vaccine, that's awesome. That's more power to them. I won't take the vaccine, and my vaccine that would have been for me, gladly give to someone else. They can have it.
I'm curious, you said we're not giving the whole story. This is your opportunity. What is the whole story?
The whole story of
protecting yourself from the virus, you just said.
No one has said one single thing about your body's immune system protecting yourself. No one. Why are doctors not saying this is a virus? This is a virus that our bodies are attacked by viruses constantly, and our immune system is designed, I believe, I mean, there's no secret here. We want to talk politics. I believe in God 100%, and I believe God designed my immune system to fight things off. Some things you can, some things you can't. But that's what our immune system is designed for. And if we have our immune system designed and running exactly how it's supposed to, We shouldn't have any problem with this. And everyone wants to use the word science, 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 science. That's scientific. Science tells you that if you have a healthy immune system, you don't have to worry about this. They're touting a vaccine that's 95% effective, but our body is 99% effective. Why is nobody talking about that number?
You have to understand, sir, there are going to be a lot of health experts watching this interview who are going to disagree with you wholeheartedly.
100%, 100%. But the opposite of that is there is going to be health experts that do agree with me.
All right. Sheriff Bianco, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.